Hi everyone! This is my lesson number 7 within the course Violin for Beginners. And as it was promised, during this lesson we will learn how to recognize notes on your string G and how to play them on string G on your violin. So first of all, I will start with explaining how to recognize your notes that are played on string G on music stuff, because it is a little bit different in comparison with string A and string D, and it's a little bit more, I cannot say it's challenging, it's just different. So I want to make sure that you understand why those notes are placed in that place where they are placed. Okay, so we have our 5 lines. Did you ever think how is it can be possible that we have only 5 lines and 4 spaces, and we have so many different notes of different pitches played on actually each instrument, not just on violin? And answer to that question is that we can place our notes above our lines and also under our lines. So for string G, it is the case with placing your notes under your first line. Then the reason for that is that a string G has low pitch notes. So all notes that are low pitch, they will go lower, that they will be placed on the first line, and we'll add some extra leisure lines when we drawing them. And in case with your string E, your notes will be placed above your 5th line. So for example, you already know that string D, and your note D on violin, string D, is placed under your first line. So what about all those notes that are going down? And actually those notes will be played on string G. So for those notes, we need to add some leisure lines. Leisure lines, those are little lines that we draw to make sure that we can move our notes down, that we can place notes that have a lower pitch or higher pitch on our stuff. So in case with string G, we already established that your 4th finger on string G will have note D, and if you want to go down, so it will be note C, we need to place note C on the music stuff. So what do we need to do? We need to draw a tiny leisure line here and place note C on that leisure line. So this will be your C. You see, we got a little leisure line that is extra line added to your 5 main lines on the stuff. So this is C, and it will be played by 3rd finger on your string G. Our next note on string G is B, and it is played by your 2nd finger. So in case with staff and finding this note on the staff, we need to draw the same leisure line, and you see that leisure line remains exactly the same. Just the place of our note, the spot for our note will be different. So we're moving our note under the leisure line. So instead of placing it on the leisure line, we're gonna need to move it on the leisure line. So this will be your note B, and it will be played by your 2nd finger. Now, what can we do further? What can we do? What do we need to do to place our A, that is 1st finger, on the staff? For this purpose, we need to add one more leisure line, and our A will be sitting on this 1st leisure line, because we counting lines from the lowest one, yeah. So the same way we were counting our main lines, we're gonna count our leisure lines as well. If you have only one, so it will be 1st leisure line. If you have 2 leisure lines, so this lower one will be 1st, and this will be 2nd. So your A placed on kind of 1st leisure line that is out of 2. Okay, so this is your A. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is your A, and it's played by your first finger. Further, we have string G, open string, and the same way we had it, the same situation as we had with C and B. We didn't change, or we didn't add a leisure line, we just moved the note under the first leisure line. So it will be G, and this is your open string. So basically your notes will be going from G in reverse order. So G will be your open string one, A will be first finger, B will be your second finger, C third finger, and D fourth finger. I hope that you will not get confused counting those leisure lines. And in terms of our C major scale, let's find out where those notes placed in terms of C major scale. So here you go. So from our G, that is open string, A first, B second, C third, and D fourth, because we skip in our C, we don't need to have two C's. This will be your order, the order for your notes. So we started from G here and we finish by D. You see, so they all organized in perfect order for each string. Doesn't matter if we start from A open string, or we start from D open string, or we start from G open string, or when we start from E open string. All of them will be organized in perfect order when they just follow one another. All right, let's now find those notes on string G, an actual string on violin. So don't forget that your hand need to be free, relaxed. You place it on the neck of violin, and the same situation, the same way we moved our elbow to make sure that your fingers are right above the string D. You're gonna need to move your elbow a little bit more forward to make sure that your fingers are above the string G. It is very important to do actually this move, because imagine that your fingers are very far from string G, and it's gonna add to your practice so much more work and effort, and you're gonna need to do this extra move of stretching your fingers to make sure that you can actually reach that string G. But with adding of this tiny movement of your elbow, it's just changing the whole situation. It's just changing it's making giving us a new picture completely when your fingers are right above the string. It's so much more easier. Yeah, so the same way we started practicing with your on your string A and D, exactly the same exercise you're gonna need to practice on your string G. So you playing your G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C, C, D, C, D, C, D, C, D. Make sure that your fingers are organized, and if you didn't notice yet, the position for our string G is exactly the same. Position of fingers is exactly the same as you have for your string A and your string D. So what position I mean, that space between first and second finger are equal approximately 1 centimeter, or maybe 1 finger if you like it, if you prefer it more. So the second and third fingers are placed together and next to each other, and space between your third and fourth fingers are also kind of 1 finger apart. So the same position you have for those 3 strings, it's only gonna change on your string A. That's why we kind of that's why I left it till the very end. Okay, so let's go back now. So D, C, D, C, D, C, D, C, C, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G. Look how organized my fingers are. Make sure that your fingers are always above the string. It looks easy for me when I'm doing that, but it's not going to be as easy for you to do. So make sure that you try your super best to assure that your fingers are placed above the string, because when we start playing very fast pieces, and you're gonna need to have your fingers very pressing strings very fast. It's gonna help you so much when your fingers are right above the string. It's right there. You just need to press it, and saving you so much time, this quarter of second that you need to ensure that your piece is played very fast. In comparison with this position, when your finger is so far from the strings that you take in three seconds to bring them back and press some notes. So this is the key for good technique and for fast playing afterwards. Okay, and finally our exercise where we use dynamics. So make sure that you play this exercise. It's gonna add colors to your practicing. So we start with piano, after we do crescendo, after we reach forte, diminuendo, and piano again. So G A G A G A G A G B G B crescendo, G C G C crescendo, D D forte, diminuendo, mo diminuendo, piano piano. That's it. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson, and I will see you on our next lesson when I will introduce to you string E. If you would like me to send you the materials that will help you to practice on the string G and recognize its notes, please don't hesitate to ask me. Send me a message and I will be happy to send you all those materials to support your learning. Thank you for watching.